with the Bayelsa elections and the Kogi state elections on Saturday. We're talking about all that in the news earlier. Let's get more perspective now on today's court judgment saying the APC has no candidates in the forthcoming governorship elections. I've been joined at the news at 10 now from our Abuja studio by legal practitioner Mr. Leo Ekpeyong. Mr. Ekpeyong, thank you for joining us on the news at 10.
Thank you for having me.
What struck you first when you heard of the judgment by the Federal High Court on the participation of the APC in the election?
Well, it's interesting, but at the same time, worrisome, because the decision of the Federal High Court in Bayelsa has a lot of far-reaching implications on the elections coming up on Saturday in Bayelsa State. However, Section 287 of the Constitution makes it clear that all persons and authority must comply with the order of the court in any part of any part of Nigeria, so that judgment is binding.
Now, the plaintiff in the case, the former Minister of State for Agriculture, Mr. Heineken Lopobiri, says the judgment was not what he asked for in his suit. What do you make of this? Is he correct? Was this not what he asked?
Well, as it stands, the court has decided. The plaintiff, Senator Lopobiri, asked for a return, as that the court should declare him winner. But the court, in its wisdom, decided otherwise. And that is the decision of the court. And that judgment subsists.
How do you see this matter unfolding in the coming days? We saw the APC there in their campaign, talking to the people and making all these promises. Do you think they will still have a candidate on Saturday?
Well, interestingly, there are far-reaching implications on this, and one of the lessons to be learned in this experience is that political parties must learn to play by the rules. You set up rules and regulations for your political party, you set up guidelines, set up regulations. You are bound to play by the rules, to obey the regulations as set out in the guidelines and constitution of your party. And this takes, this brings to the fore the traditional case of Onoha against Okafor. Traditionally, the courts were insulated from looking into the activities of political parties. But in the case of Ugu against Ararume, it was judicially settled that the courts have the power to look into the activities of political parties with a view to ensuring that political parties abide by its own rules and regulations. So it is a lesson for politicians and political parties by extension to play by the rules and obey strictly and comply with its own guidelines, rules and regulations.
So are you saying that in this, sorry to interrupt, but are you saying that in this case that a stay of execution obtained by the APC chairman, Adams Oshomole, will not hold on or should not hold on Saturday? The APC should not have a candidate participating in this election. Quickly, please.
Well, in this, I'm not really informed about which courts, because there are conflicting reports as regards if it's an Abuja Federal High Court or the Court of Appeal, or if it is the High Court. The High Courts are of coordinate jurisdiction, and if an order for stay of execution is obtained by another High Court, it can only at best be persuasive. But if it is obtained by the Court of Appeal, then it is binding, and that subsists against the decision of the Federal High Court in Bayelsa.
Mr. Leo Ekpeyong, thank you for joining us on the News at 10. Appreciate your thoughts and your analysis on the issue.